challenging sometimes, even not because it's always hard to understand. Sometimes it's almost too easy to understand, and it's just kind of it leaves you no wiggle room sometimes. But it's so good. I'll tell you, throughout my life, so many times I've been rescued by a proverb for in multiple ways, for multiple reasons, and man, I could tell you several stories, which I won't because we're in a little bit of a hurry today because at 9 o'clock we are having our first of two services. And I love Sundays. Love them, love them, love them. They're a lot of work. I've been formally in ministry since, college. But every day of my life I've been a pastor's kid. So Sundays are always, it's like, I don't know. It's kind of like going camping. It's so much fun, but it's also so much work and so much effort. And so you kind of approach it with prayer and relying on God. You can tell when you're not because you get stressed out, and it's easy. But that's not just ministry. That's anybody. Sunday can be busy and hard because it's a little bit out of the ordinary. Your Monday through Saturday looks very different than your Sunday generally. And so just want to encourage you to walk in the Spirit today as I encourage myself. I'm not having to really talk myself into it today. Some days I do. Today I'm excited to preach. I'm excited to sing with the church. I'm grateful for the freedom that we have to assemble, the freedom that we have to sing. Others are at least being told that they don't have that freedom. They're doing it anyway in California. But I'm grateful for the opportunities we have, so I'm just excited for us to come together today. But maybe you're tired. Maybe you stayed up late watching fireworks on your screen because you couldn't do them live. Parties or being with people. Maybe you were outside and got a little sunburnt. I know the day after a sunburn can always be like you've got the glossy eyes and you're a little groggy. Your body's kind of processing that. And so I generally think like the Sunday after Independence Day, people kind of come in like glad to be there, but not in the best of moods or not feeling the best. So just encourage you guys, walk in the Spirit today. That doesn't mean you have to put on a fake smile and act like you're just all cheery, but walk in the Spirit and He'll help you glean what you need to glean from the preaching and from the worship, but also give what you need to give to others in the church. We're here to edify one another, so I'm looking forward to it. All right, so we're in Proverbs chapters 10 through 13, and of course, since it's Sunday, I'm not going to do much commentary, and I'm basically going to read and then hang up on you so that I can get everything ready, get myself ready and the church ready for our first service. So let's read chapter 10. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He that gathereth in summer is a wise son, but he that sleepeth in harvest is a son that causeth shame. Blessings are upon the head of the just, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the just is blessed, but the name of the wicked shall rot. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a prating fool shall fall. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known. He that winketh with the eye causeth sorrow, but a prating fool shall fall. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirreth up strifes, but love covereth all sins. In the lips of him that hath understanding wisdom is found, but a rod is for the back of him that is void of understanding. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, the destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life. The fruit of the wicked is sin. The fruit of the wicked to sin. He is in the way of life that keepeth instruction, but he that refuseth reproof erreth. He that hideth hatred with lying lips, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. Wow. All right. We're going to learn something about that today, just a little bit. But basically, you've got a problem with somebody, but you're not going to tell them. Inside you're like wanting to punch them in the face. On the outside, you're like, oh, hey, brother, good to see you today. Lying with your lips while there's hatred in your heart. It says, and he that uttereth a slander is a fool. In the multitude of words there wanteth not sin, but he that refraineth his lips is wise. That's a verse. That's one of the proverbs that has rescued me in my life several times. Several times it could have rescued me, and I didn't let it. And so I opened my mouth and inserted foot, right? One of those things. Verse 20, the tongue of the just is as choice silver. The heart of the wicked is little worth. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for want of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it. It is as sport to a fool to do mischief, but a man of understanding hath wisdom. The fear of the wicked, it shall come upon him, but the desire of the righteous shall be granted. As the whirlwind passeth, so is the wicked no more, but the righteous is an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth and as smoke to the eyes, so is the sluggard to them that send him. I need to quote that one to my kids. Lately, I've been trying to let the boys pick up after themselves. Not let them, tell them to, and teach them responsibility, right? I sound like such a dad. You boys need to learn responsibility. Go pick up all your toys that you left outside. Go put your bikes away. And even this morning I walk outside and I told them to put some chairs up against the fence, and then there was a scooter I wanted them to get. The chairs are like halfway against the fence, some of them aren't, and then the scooter wasn't moved, and you're just like getting smoke in my eyes, trying to tell these guys to do something, and they just won't do it. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest. Verse 27, the fear of the Lord prolongeth days, but the years of the wicked shall be shortened. Sorry, I'm back on that last verse. Oh, those sluggards of mine, those children, sluggards. Okay, verse 28, the hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish. The way of the Lord is strength to the upright, but destruction shall be to the workers of iniquity. The righteous shall never be removed, but the wicked shall not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the just bringeth forth wisdom, but the froward tongue shall be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked speaketh frowardness. I like that last verse. The lips of the righteous know what's acceptable, meaning they understand not just what is right, but also what is effective, prudent. They use discretion with the words that they have. And so they do things, they say things in a way that disarms and helps. Chapter 11, a false balance is abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man dieth, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perisheth. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. An hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth, and when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. A talebearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. That's another proverb that has come to mind many times. Verse 15, he that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth suretyship is sure. Suretyship is sure. Say that 10 times fast. A gracious woman retaineth honor, and strong men retain riches. The merciful man doeth good to his own soul, but he that is cruel troubleth his own flesh. The wicked worketh a deceitful work, but to him that soweth righteousness shall be a sure reward. As righteousness tendeth to life, so he that pursueth evil pursueth it to his own death. They that are of a froward heart are abomination to the Lord, but such as are upright in their way are his delight. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is that scattereth, and yet increaseth, and there is that withholdeth more than is meet, but it tendeth to poverty. The liberal soul shall be made fat, and he that watereth shall be watered also himself. He that withholdeth corn, the people shall curse him, but blessing shall be upon the head of him that selleth it. He that diligently seeketh good procureth favor, but he that seeketh mischief, it shall come unto him. He that trusteth in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. He that troubleth his own house shall inherit the wind, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and he that winneth souls is wise. That's another one that's come to mind many times. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. Chapter 12. Whoso loveth instruction loveth knowledge, but he that hateth reproof is brutish. A good man obtaineth favor of the Lord, but a man of wicked devices will he condemn. A man shall not be established by wickedness, but the root of the righteous shall not be moved. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, but she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness in his bones. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsels of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are to lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright shall deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are not, but the house of the righteous shall stand. A man shall be commended according to his wisdom, but he that is of a perverse heart shall be despised. He that is despised and hath a servant is better than he that honoureth himself and lacketh bread. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread, but he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. The wicked desireth the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. The wicked is snared by the transgression of his lips, but the just shall come out of trouble. A man shall be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands shall be rendered unto him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he that hearkeneth unto counsel is wise. A fool's wrath is presently known, but a prudent man covereth shame. He that speaketh truth showeth forth the righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is that speaketh like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise is health. The lip of truth shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of them that imagine evil, but to the counselors of peace is joy. There shall no evil happen to the just, but the wicked shall be filled with mischief. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. A prudent man concealeth knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaimeth foolishness. The hand of the diligent shall bear rule, but the slothful shall be under tribute. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stoop, but a good word maketh it glad. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. In the way of righteousness is life, and in the pathway thereof there is no death. Chapter 13. A wise son heareth his father's instruction, but a scorner heareth not rebuke. A man shall eat good by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the transgressors shall eat violence. He that keepeth his mouth keepeth his life, but he that openeth wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. A righteous man hateth lying, but a wicked man is loathsome, and cometh to shame. Righteousness keepeth him that is upright in the way, but wickedness overthroweth the sinner. There is that maketh himself rich, yet hath nothing. There is that maketh himself poor, yet hath great riches. The ransom of a man's life are his riches, but the poor heareth not rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoiceth, but the lamp of the wicked shall be put out. Only by pride cometh contention, but with the well-advised is wisdom. We're going to talk about that today as well in our sermon. Verse 11, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. Hope deferred maketh the heart sick, but when the desire cometh, it is a tree of life. Whoso despiseth the word shall be destroyed, but he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to depart from the snares of death. Good understanding giveth favor, but the way of transgressors is hard. Every prudent man dealeth with knowledge, but a fool layeth open his folly. A wicked messenger falleth into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuseth instruction, but he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. The desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is abomination to fools to depart from evil. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Another one that has come to mind many times in life. It's rescued me, or it could have rescued me, and I didn't obey it. Verse 21, evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. Much food is in the tillage of the poor, but there is that destroyed for want of judgment. He that spareth his rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. The righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. Well, these have been, it's kind of like trying to get a drink of water from a fire hydrant, just like, it's just so much. And that's why I talked so much yesterday. There's just so much to be said. Frankly, if you were to preach through the Proverbs, you could potentially be there for your entire life. Okay, you can't get to the bottom of all. I mean, it's so deep. But that one verse that I just read kind of pinged something in my mind. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise. And I'm reading on for you guys, but my mind started turning a little bit and thinking about, okay, so who am I walking with? That's a good question for us to ask. Who are you walking with? There ought to be people in your life who are more foolish than you are, that you are discipling. You're helping them grow. But who do you walk with for your growth? For your mutual growth, I ought to say. That sounds kind of leeching. Though that's not an unbiblical way of looking at things. Find a master. Find a teacher. Find someone who can instruct you. That's a biblical and good and natural concept. And so anyways, I was thinking of some of the wise men that I try to walk with. And one of them came to mind that I want to pray for and let you guys know to pray for, because you've met him a couple times online. You haven't met him in person yet, though Lord willing we will someday. Pastor Carlos Navarrete in Johnston, Rhode Island, the Greater Rhode Island Baptist Temple. And he's helped me early on in coronavirus. I'd recorded with him, and he helped me record all of our live stream services, and his team. Anyways, this last week he tested positive for COVID, and so he's very sick right now. He's isolated in his basement, trying to stay away from his family. And I texted him and said, hey, it's a proven fact. Basements are known to spread discouragement. And so anyways, I want to pray for him, for his health, for his church, because, now their pastor has COVID, and so they're kind of limping along without him. And then also he's concerned, I think his wife is starting to possibly show some symptoms, and she's had some other health issues, and so we just really don't want her to get it. Of course not, but especially her with some of her previous health conditions. So I'm going to pray for that as we go. This wise man in my life, I want to pray for him to be in good health and for his family and church. Lord, thank you so much for the wise people that you put in our lives. I pray that we would purposefully walk with them. And it says also that a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Father, I pray that we would have healthy relationships with people who need to grow, or people who aren't even saved yet, that we would be missional in those relationships. But Lord, the relationships that we allow to truly affect us, may we reject those foolish ones. Lord, I pray that we would be wise in walking with wise men. And Lord, I pray for Pastor Carlos today as he's fighting this virus. I pray that you'd give him the strength. I pray that you would work in his body to good health, and that he would be able to fight this and overcome it very quickly. And I pray that you would just protect his family as he's trying his best to stay away, but his wife is possibly showing symptoms. I just pray that you would protect her from it, that she would not get the virus as well as his children. Lord, I just pray that you'd protect him against discouragement during this time as he's isolated. I think of Elijah by the brook, and I pray that you'd provide for his needs, provide for his comfort. Lord, that he would encourage himself in the Lord. I also pray for his church as they were able to come back together a couple weeks ago like we have, meeting in person, but now because of their pastor, they are all reverting back to online services. And I just pray that you give them grace. I pray that the church would be strong, that they would bind together their hearts during this time. Lord, I pray that you bless our services today. Lord, I pray that our church would show up. I pray that there would be lost people that would be in attendance with us, that we would see a harvest of souls. Lord, that you would move in our hearts towards sanctification as well. I pray in Jesus' name, amen. All right, looking forward to seeing you at 9 a.m. or 11 a.m. And of course, we've got our 6 p.m. Fellowship Groups lesson, then moving into our Fellowship Groups Zoom meetings. And tonight we start a new series as far as the teaching is concerned that I'll announce in the service to come. So I'm looking forward to it. See you guys later.